Alright guys, we got the hot wire on, and I'm going to check some spots going around along the way, and I just want to make sure everybody knows how to check one of these hot wires. So this is our little, I think it's called a Zeriba or something like that. I can't remember. It sounds like zebra or something. For this, we just stick the little prod into the wet soil. We come up here. We see what's going on. All the way up to 7,000 volts. That's good. And also looks like I busted the front of this thing a little bit. So 7,000 volts. So I'm just concerned because that's not normal for that cow to try to push through that. So let's go to the next spot. Alright guys, I want to show y'all a little bit of the difference here. So the cows, I'm going to use my hand here to show y'all. The cows have gone through this side of the field. Now there's a whole lot more field still to go here. But you can see we put up this one division wire right through the middle of that field. So the cows have already gone through this side. You can see how far down it's eaten. And then you can see a comparison to the two sides. And it's this way, and this wire's hot, so I gotta be careful because I'm bad to just grab hold of it and step underneath it. But you can see the differences. Now there is a lot of weeds, but we're still thankful for the weeds because the weeds still provide cover to our ground. But yeah, you can see the big difference in rotational grazing compared to if they had free range. There's a lot of this stuff that would not be eaten, and this stuff would be eaten, the cream of the crop. And they've already been in here for 5 days, and you can tell we've got more than half of our field still to go. Yeah, this is the power of rotational grazing right here. I have not bush hogged this. I've not had to bush hog this, except for I think in the early spring we did, just so the crop we had a better chance of getting seed to soil contact when we spread our clovers and fescue. But yeah, this is the power of animal impact and grazing, rotational grazing, managed intensive grazing, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so let's see what this wire tests at here now. Oh, same deal. Take the prod, stick it in the ground. Bring this up here. Now this one I'm interested in because, wow, okay, still 7,000 volts. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's very faint, but yeah, there you go, 7,000. Huh. All right, let's go down to this other spot and check one more place. And then I think we got some fence to work on as well. So here we go. Guys, this is one of our ball waterers here. This was actually on another part of the farm, and we had it brought over here. You can see how full this is, and guess what? It's too full. It's overrunning the one side. So let's see if we can fix that. So we got to get this wire out of the way. Easy to do. Come over here, grab a stake. 2. Clip that on. There we are. I'm gonna try not to get popped with this thing really quick. Alright, so now it's out of my way. So I'm going to start by taking off this front piece, and it looks like it is already pretty loose. There should be a gauge under here. Alright, let me get this off. I'll bring y'all back. Alright guys, so yeah, you can see that our valve is still putting out water. You lower that down, it comes out a whole lot more. And that just needs to be up a little bit more. So what we're going to do, see if this works. We're going to try to loosen this thing and rotate it down a little bit. So yeah, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, this isn't perfect, but instead of it consistently running and it's no longer trickling over the side, it is just a faint trickle. So it's better. It's not great. So we may have to get somebody more experienced on this part if this continues to be a problem. But yeah, well, one little small thing fixed. We made a bad thing not as bad. But yeah, there's other part of the day done. All right, guys, I'm gonna check this fence one more time right here. You can see my cows are all very happily back where, well, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. And let's check this fence one more time. Yep. Right up there to 7,000 volts. We're good all the way across the board right now. So, I'm gonna go set up that other fence out there. And, well, I appreciate y'all watching and viewing the video. Let me walk up here and see. I need to walk more. I ride on that four-wheeler too much anyway. The efforts to save time, it's good, but I need to get out here and look at the grasses and everything a little bit more than what I have been here recently. See that? That is a weed, but it has been eaten off. And a lot of the leaves and everything were eaten off, trampled, urinated, manured on, and you know, I like many of y'all probably watch Greg Judy, and he does say the phrase that a cow eats with 5 mouths. I'll say that it's almost 7 mouths, because as much manure and urine as they put out in a day, and they don't like to eat that stuff once they've already, you know, released all their excrements on it. But yeah, here's the cows, guys. Nobody looks like they're suffering right now anyway. Got plenty of grass still going. Everybody's looking nice and healthy and very attentive. Now I will show you, let me show you their water here. When you're doing rotational grazing, water is a great and terrible thing all at the same time. The most important part about water is to make sure you're protecting your water source. And see that yellow ball that's in there? Protect that thing at all costs. So I have this wire that's running right across it, right here. And I try to cut this little thing in half each and every time, basically. So they can put their head in there, they can drink, but they cannot get in there with their hooves, and they cannot break that ball. Because if they break that, it will just run constantly. It'll overflow. It'll leak out into the pasture. And nobody really wants that. It doesn't hurt anything. We're using a natural water source for this, but it does run electricity, and prefer not to if we could get away with it. So yeah. All the cows. It's scary to think, but we're almost to the middle of August, and you know what happens after that? September, and then we're going to be right in the middle of fall, and we're going to be in winter before you know it. So that's one reason why rotational grazing is so important, because you can manage your stock, your intakes, basically trying to reduce on feed and hay. If you're a cow-calf producer, this is a great way to go and be able to save on overhead expenses. I am working on the process of grass-fed beef. I will admit that it is a very intense process, but it's as intense as you want it to be. So we're gonna find out. We had our first 2 cows taken off last week. So here in about a week, we'll be getting that beef back and finding out how good it tastes, what things we need to improve on. I did go to the slaughterhouse yesterday. I was able to see it while it was hanging on the rack, and it looked good. But yeah, it's the circle of life out here, guys. unfortunately. But the cows look good, look healthy. Number 42 there, our little 50% South Pole, she's going to be having her first calf, and that calf will be 75% South Pole, which does not mean that we can register her, but she won't be considered a purebred or a full blood at that point. But she's just a pretty looking cow. Heifer. Yes, flies are out here, and that's one reason why I have them out here next to these woods. There's tons of spiders in the woods, and they're cutting down on a lot of these flies. But unfortunately, it is the middle of August. I do not feed any type of a fly mineral. We've done the high mag mineral, and it seems to be working really good. They've kept good body conditioned through the flies, even with the stress of them, even the calves. We've not had pink eye, knock on wood, that's hit anything yet. We did have a cow that got stabbed in the eye with like a stick, but it didn't, you know, that healed up, didn't lose its eye or anything. Very, very easy. And you can see Cadillac staring at me here. So yeah. All right, guys, y'all have a great day. Take it easy.